Recording. Yeah, Jai. Jai Jagannath, Jai Radhe. Let's see if it is recording. It is recording. Okay. So, nice, nice topic. Thanks for participating. You are actually giving me a lot of support and cooperation in participating to these meetings. You know, Adi Shankar was saying in the Gita Mahatmya, you know, that Krishna is a gopa and Arjuna is a calf, and the cow is the is the knowledge of the Upanishads and the, you know, the Vedas. So we need a calf, otherwise it's difficult. So we hope that our discussions will bring benefit to more people, as many people as possible. And today, as I was saying, good topic is the Kartika month, the month of Damodar, Damodara Vrata, Kartika Vrata, which is particularly popular in Vrindavan, Mathura Vrindavana, as you know, because you live in Vrindavan. And it is also very popular in Bengal, where there is a very strong movement, bhakti movement for Krishna, Radha Krishna. And it is also there in Orissa, in Puri. We have sometimes, during Kartik there are, several pilgrims coming to Puri, mostly from the west of India, like Karnataka, Maharashtra, Gujarat, like that. Or also, even further west, because there are lots of Western, people living in the West, like Europe, the USA, and, who actually pick the time of Kartika, the month of Kartika, to visit India. And they go to Vrindavan, but because in Vrindavan the month of Kartika is very crowded, sometimes they spend some of that time in Puri, which is still, lively, but not that crowded. So you want to describe a little bit what is going on in Vrindavan during the month of Kartika?
Yeah, so many Gaudiya Vaishnavas are coming, like in the temples where usually they are not crowded, like Govind Devji temple or Radha
Ramana,
Gopinathji.
Radharaman.
Sundar. Radharaman is famous, like
Yeah,
devotees usually visit every day, but like these temples only Gaudiyas visit mostly, and
yeah,
usually like if you come on odd days, you'll hardly find 10, 20 devotees, but now they are like hundreds of them.
okay.
So this is one thing, and then the importance of like Damodar Aarti, where Damodar Ashtakam is
Yeah,
sung and devotees offer lamps in Radha Damodar temple, in ISKCON temple, like basically Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy, whoever is
yeah,
following. So in that temple, this evening, night offering of lamp is going on.
yeah. Okay, okay. That's very good. Gaudiya Vaishnava, maybe to elaborate a little more about the tradition of Gaudiya Vaishnavism is a basically a Bengali tradition. Gauda Desh is Bengal, and which is the ancient Bengal, or in general the Bengali culture region, which extends to Bihar, Assam, and the eastern states, like especially Manipur, where some of the followers of Chaitanya went to preach. I think it was Shamananda who went to Manipur. And of course Bengal, because Krishna Chaitanya was a very dedicated, very strong devotee of Krishna, Radha Krishna. And many Bengalis went to Vrindavan. In fact, it seems from history, from the records, it seems that during the time of Krishna Chaitanya, which is about 1500s, end of 1400s, beginning of 1500s, Vrindavan was lost, basically. So Chaitanya told some of his followers, specifically the famous 6 Goswamis, to go to Vrindavan and excavate the holy places, discover them again. And even before that, we have the story of Madhavendra Puri, who excavated the famous deity of Gopal in Vrindavan that had been buried, under some bushes, because when the Muslim invasions started, Mathura Vrindavana were very much on the way. So practically Mathura and Vrindavan were destroyed. Even the famous temples like Madan Mohan, it was half demolished. Then the deities of Madan Mohan, the dear Govinda and Gopinath, were taken away from Vrindavan. Govinda was taken to Jaipur in Rajasthan, because in that way the deity could be protected by the Rajputs, because Vrindavan was, it was lost, basically. So it started to come to manifestation again with the work of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, who didn't come from Vrindavan. They went to Vrindavan, stayed there. There were 6 prominent followers of Chaitanya. We can remember Rupa and Sanatana, who were brothers, and Jiva, who was a nephew. Then we have the 2 Gopalas, Gopala Bhatta and Gopala Das. Gopala Bhatta was from South India. And, Rupa, Sanatana,
Raghunath Bhatt and Raghunath.
Yeah. Oh, Raghunath Bhatta. Thanks. Sorry. 2 Raghunaths. Yes. Raghunath Bhatta, Raghunath Das. Exactly. Gopala Bhatta was just one. Yeah. So, Rupa, Sanatana Jiva, 2 Raghunaths, and the Gopala Bhatta. So that makes 6. And especially Rupa, Sanatana Jiva, and Gopala Bhatta were, did a lot of writing. While Raghunath, the 2 Raghunaths, I think they were more on their own. I think Raghunath Das wrote something, but I don't remember really. But the most famous of these 6 Goswamis were Rupa, Sanatana, Jiva. They're famous for the Sandarbhas and everything. One interesting thing is that when we say Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, like that, many people think they were sannyasis, which is not a fact. They were Babajis. At that time, no one was taking sannyas from the line of Krishna Chaitanya. Krishna Chaitanya didn't give diksha to anyone. if someone wanted to get Diksha, Chaitanya was sending them mostly to Nityananda, sometimes to Advaita, then more rarely to Gopala Bhatta, then even more rarely to Gadadhar, but nobody got sannyas. From the line, the Advaita Parivar and the Gopala Bhatta line, people were taking Diksha, but only as followers, not as gurus. They could not become gurus. While in the Nityananda and Janava Parivar, people were accepted to take Diksha and also to become guru, to give Diksha in turn. And there was no distinction between men and women. In fact, women were considered more qualified naturally to become gurus because of the perceived absence of Purushatva, which in the language of Bhakti means the enjoying mentality, the male mentality, especially because in the line of Chaitanya, the rasa, the prominent rasa, is the Madhurya rasa, specifically the Parakya Madhurya rasa. And in order to immerse oneself in the Madhurya rasa with Krishna, one cannot maintain the male mentality. So if we check, we go and see in the tradition of the especially the Nityananda Parivar, Nityananda Janava Parivar, the gurus also take the identity and the name of a manjari, because that is the bhava, the sentiment, the rasa that is required to engage in the Parakya Madhurya rasa. So while on the other side, in the Advaita Parivar and the Gopala Bhatta Parivar, there was less bhakti and more agamas, more pancharatra, more technical worship training. In the Nityananda Parivar, it was more about pure bhakti. While in the other groups, Advaita and Gopala Bhatta, they were more about technical worship. In fact, the previous acharya, not the current one, but the previous acharya in the Gopala Bhatta Sampradaya was Padmanabha Goswami. And again, Goswami is not a sannyasi title, because the Goswamis sometimes are also called the caste Goswamis. They're married, so and only the seminal descendants of the acharya can become acharya in turn. So from Padmanabha Goswami, then we got his son Chandan Goswami became the acharya. And Padmanabha Goswami was very expert in the worship and knowledge about the Shalagram Shila. I remember he wrote a book on the Shalagram, and he asked me to translate it, to publish it, but that was many years ago. So this is the kind of territory, spiritual, religious territory that we can find in the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. Mainly there are these two big, different branches. The Nityananda Janava Parivar became the most prominent and most popular because they were more focused on the bhakti. Then the Rupanugas detached themselves from the Nityananda Janava Parivar and became the followers of Rupa and Sanatana mostly. And we have Krishna Dasa Kaviraj is a most famous member of that group, who wrote the Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is very popular in Bengal. And then there were these other parivar, the Advaita, which has always been in Navadvip, Mayapur, Bengal. And then the Gopala group centered about the Radharamana temple in Vrindavan. And the Gadadhara group is mostly centered in Puri, at the famous temple of Tota Gopinath. I don't know if you know about that temple. Tota Gopinath, the deity of Tota Gopinath was excavated by Krishna Chaitanya himself from underground, of course. Excavated means, digging up. In a garden next to the Markandeshwara temple in Puri. So Chaitanya found this deity, got it out of the soil, and installed the deity in the temple of Tota Gopinath, and entrusted Gadadhar to the worship, and Gadadhar also gave Babaji Diksha to some people who continued his line, especially for the management of the temple. And Gadadhar was also very bhakti oriented. Gadadhar was especially engaged in the study and the preaching of the Bhagavata Purana. So that's the scenario. Now in Vrindavan, all these people went to Vrindavan or stayed in Vrindavan quite often, and especially these 6 Goswamis were based in Vrindavan and installed or reinstalled some deities. Took care of temples. Rupa Goswami, I think he was connected with the Madan Mohan, which is the most important of the 12 deities of Krishna in Vrindavan, 12 main temples of Vrindavan. So, I guess that there are lots of people, from Bengal especially, going to Vrindavan for the month of Kartika. So the month of Kartika is the last month of the Chaturmasya. In fact, it's the culmination of the Vrata, the Chaturmasya Vrata, that also doubles up as Damodara Vrata. The Chaturmasya Vrata is the 4 months of austerities in the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, because in the Vedic tradition it was a different thing. So the Chaturmasya Vrata in the Vedic tradition is a Karmakanda ritual that is performed once every 4 months. While in the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, the Chaturmasya is one vrata only, performed along 4 successive, months. That is usually from July, August, September, October. Around, because the months of the Vedic calendar are not precisely corresponding to the solar calendar that we are globally accustomed to. Until now, everything is clear, eh?
Yes, yes.
So, if you have any question, any observation, please interrupt me. Okay, so I feel there is some life in the discussion. Otherwise, it's just a monologue. Do you have any questions until now?
No.
Yeah.
I think some of these
I don't hear you very well. I think the microphone is far.
Jai Jagannath. Is it better or same?
No, I can't. I mean, it's very low. Volume is very low.
I don't
Okay.
know.
Anyway, no problem.
Okay,
No.
we can continue.
Now I hear you. What's the difference, if I may ask?
Nothing.
Okay, that's it. Okay. So until now, any question, any observation, any comment?
No. I think some of it we already discussed earlier in our previous discussion.
Okay.
How?
Okay. Yeah, but I wanted to summarize a little bit to make a ground, some foundational work. Okay, so basically, during the Kartika Vrata, it's the last month of Chaturmasya. People abstain from certain foods, and they don't care so much about the physical body. So in some matas, they don't shave, they don't cut the hair, they don't cut the nails, they don't, they do that kind of austerity. Also, some people eat only once a day. There are several practices that Gaudiya Vaishnavas especially observe during this period as a special austerity. So the months of Kartika, from Purnima to Purnima, is considered to celebrate the rasa lila of Krishna with the gopis, which lasts for 1 month. And this is at least what they're saying. I'm not sure that it is. I don't think it is specifically mentioned in the Bhagavata Purana and other Puranas, but definitely it is mentioned in the Bhakti tradition. And it is also called Damodar Vrata because, as you rightly mentioned, it is a tradition, the custom for devotees to visit the temples of Krishna in the evening and offer some little ghee lamps while singing a specific bhajan, that is the Damodarashtaka, which means 8 verses of worship and meditation of Damodar. So the name Damodar is one of Krishna's names, and is generally considered to refer to that lila in which little Krishna went to steal the butter and broke the pots and made a mess in general. So Mother Yashoda got angry and she decided to punish the child, and she was trying to catch him, and Krishna was running around like crazy. And Mother Yashoda was getting tired of running around, without being able to catch Krishna. So in the end, Krishna was so happy to see how seriously Yashoda was taking her role as a mother that he decided to let himself be caught by Yashoda. And then when Yashoda caught Krishna, little Krishna, there was another problem. Because she decided to tie up little Krishna, the child Krishna, to a mortar, a big mortar, so that he could not run around anymore, and it was a kind of punishment. But, she couldn't find, the rope she found was not long enough. So it says, the tradition of Bhakti says that, it lacked 1 inch, it was 1 inch short. Then she went to find all the other ropes in the house, and she put them all together, and still 1 inch was short of 1 inch. And that was very perplexing. And in the end, Krishna became moved by the effort that Yashoda was putting into the proceedings. So he allowed himself to be tied up by Yashoda. And the song of the Damodarashtaka elaborates on this lila by explaining that Krishna can be bound, tied up, only by pure devotion. There is no other way we can keep hold of Krishna. But it is very easy to keep hold of Krishna through bhakti, through pure and sincere, selfless devotion. And also the song remembers when after Yashoda tied up Krishna to the mortar, she went to do some other things, and Krishna started to move around dragging the mortar, which was very heavy. And Krishna dragged the mortar into the courtyard and moved between the 2 trees, which were called Yamala Arjuna. That were 2 Arjuna trees. Arjuna trees is one kind of tree that has a medicinal bark. Also medicinal leaves, if I remember well. So they are called, the 2 trees were called Yamal Arjuna. So Krishna got in the middle, and by dragging the mortar, not only was dragging the mortar, but it was dragging the mortar with such a strength, power, that he uprooted the 2 trees. And that was also a deliberate action, because according to the Bhagavata Purana, these 2 trees were 2 Gandharvas who had been cursed by Narada to take birth as trees. So by being uprooted by Krishna, they were liberated, and they returned to their happy position as Gandharvas. So I'm sure you know the story.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, now I can hear you. So, any question about that? No.
No.
Okay. So, so during the month of Kartika, we prepare for the other big event in the life of Indian Hinduism, which is Diwali. We are, running up to Diwali, and Diwali is another festival of lamps. So during the whole Kartika Vrata, we have these little lamps, little deepas that are offered to Krishna. So we see the superimposition of the worship of Krishna over the worship of Durga and over the worship of Rama. Rama, Krishna, and Durga. We will remember that Durga also appeared as avatar on the same time and day of Krishna as Subhadra, the daughter of Yashoda in Gokula. That was exchanged with Krishna by Vasudeva. So Durga Puja is also in the Ashtami, and when we celebrate Janmashtami, we can also celebrate the appearance day of Durga as the avatar Subhadra. Okay. Regarding Ram, Diwali is celebrated as the occasion of Ram returning to Ayodhya, and the lamps in this context are said to be the lights prepared by the people of Ayodhya to help Sri Ram land the Pushpa Vimana, which was the airplane with which Rama, Sita, Lakshman, and Vanaras and so on arrived in Ayodhya back after the famous exile. So basically the whole process, the whole cycle of festival is about the light. The light is the symbol of spiritual enlightenment, of wisdom, of knowledge. There is that famous verse of the Upanishad, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, from the darkness take me to the light. The Festival of Lights, both in the Damodara Vrata and Diwali in general, is about spreading the light of spiritual realization, of sattva guna. Sattva is, at least sattva, if not Shuddha sattva. So sattva is characterized by light, enlightenment, intelligence, knowledge, wisdom, which are all connected to the light. The word Deva is also connected, etymologically speaking, the origin of the word is also connected to the light. This is the general illustration of the month of Kartika. You want to add something that only Vrindavan Vasi can add, because you definitely know more.
No, I'm like not a true Vrindavan Vasi. I came from.
Okay, well, you are sitting in Vrindavan, so technically you're Vrindavan Vasi, at least technically.
But yeah, I've heard these leelas only related to.
No, but so the point is, it's not easy to stay in Vrindavan if you don't have the blessing of Radha Krishna. It's not possible. It's a very well-known fact. If you stay in Vrindavan, just staying in Vrindavan is quite a feat by itself. So living in the holy places makes you a Dhamavasi. Whether you feel that you are qualified to be one, at which level, I don't know, but still you're still a Dhamavasi, Brajabasi. So, okay, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, there was yesterday Radha Kund appearance day.
The deity of Radha Govinda.
No, no, not DT, the Radha Kund I'm saying.
Oh, the
Radha
Radha
Kund was.
Kunda. Oh, Radha Kunda. I heard Radha Kunda. Oh, the Radha Kunda appearance day. Yeah, yeah. That is also
So,
Radha Kunda, Shama Kunda. There are two, what we could say, artificial ponds, small lakes, that are very near to the Govardhana hill, Govardhana Giri Govardhana. And the first, the Shamakunda, according to the Bhakti tradition, the Shamakunda was excavated first by Krishna to take bath, to purify himself technically, after slaying Sabasura, Vatsasura specifically, if I remember correctly. Then Radha also said, okay, I will also make a Sarovara, a Kunda. And she excavated the Radha Kunda. So Krishna proclaimed that the Radha Kunda is the best, the most purifying of the Tirthas. So lots of people, especially Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they take the clay from the Radha Kunda to make the tilak. I think that a few years ago the Radha Kunda was cleaned up. There was a big seva to clean up the Radha Kunda.
I don't remember, but like these days they clean up in between. Like it's not that like you
Yeah,
can
there
use
is a,
all the same oil.
yeah, it has to go on. This is
Ah.
Dhamma Seva. It has to continue to be
Continue,
regular.
yes.
Yeah, Radha Kunda, the appearance day of Radha Kunda is also very popular in, especially among the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Lots of Gaudiya Vaishnavas also chose to live on the bank of the Radha Kunda or to have their samadhis there. I think Janava Thakurani also. I think Bhajan, Kutiran, and Samadhi are on the Radha Kunda. And other great personalities of the Gaudiya Vaishnava movement. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a very good point. Any other observation? We are going to get the Govardhana Puja soon.
Yeah, that also
During
will
this
come.
period, we have also Govardhana Puja.
Yeah. Like in Kartik each day something or the else, like one of the other Krishna Leelas are happening. So
Yeah, lots of them.
Govardhan
Yeah.
Puja is coming. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's the season. Actually, in the Bhagavata Purana, there is an entire chapter dedicated to the autumn in Vrindavan, because that is the best season, they say, because it's not so hot anymore. The rainy season is over, so the weather is cool without being cold, and there is still some sun. Lots of sunlight is there. So lots of flowers are blooming, especially the lotus flowers, because there is a lot of water around. And lots of other flowers, scented flowers. So when there was a forest in Vrindavan means forest, Vana is forest. When there was a forest in Vrindavan, it was particularly pleasant. And also the Govardhana hill was also full of forests and pasturing grounds, and so the cows were going around there very happily. So I don't know now the situation, what kind of forests are there in Vrindavan. Not many, not much.
No, no forest.
No forest. Okay, maybe some tulsi plants somewhere. Maybe, in the temples or
Yes.
something, but I don't think there is much of a forest. But anyway, at the subtle level, the spiritual level, the forests are still there.
Yes.
Which, if we focus, we take our consciousness on the right platform, we'll be able to experience them. This is, we are not simply attached to the external manifestations. There is a deeper existence of Vrindavan that is transcendental to the, the appearance or disappearance, manifested or non-manifested. Yes, you were saying something.
No.
Okay, that was just confirming. Okay, and
One thing,
tell.
when I went to Govardhan Parikrama on Sunday, so what I got to know on this Radha Kund appearance day, there is this some people believe that there is this material blessings you'll get, if you're not getting blessed with a child, if you take a dip in Radha Kund on the appearance day of Radha Kund, you'll be blessed to get have a childbirth. So these sort of material benefits,
Yeah,
how
well,
they become associated with this, and not only in this, at many places. Wherever you go, if you ask locals, they'll many places they tell
yeah,
about this.
because there
You'll get
are
this,
two
you'll get
levels.
that.
Yeah, there are two levels of bhakti. One level is a popular, a bit materialistic expression of devotion, but it is still good because you're still getting punya. So it's not that if you take bath in the Radha Kunda on that day, you can only get a child. You can get all sorts of blessings. If people really want to have a child, they will have a child. you know. Although I'm not really sure it's the best blessing you can get in this period, in Kali Yuga, but still, if they want, they can get blessings because they get punya. They get sukriti, good merits. But this is still an external level of devotion. The classification Kanishta Dikari, Madhyama Dikari, Uttama Dikari. The Kanishta Dikari is someone who goes there and we'll take bath in that day, so we are going to get a child. Yeah, well, okay. But that reminds me of the story of Dhruva. Story of Dhruva in the Bhagavata Purana, I think 4th canto, if I remember correctly. So Dhruva wanted to have some material blessings. Specifically, he wanted the kingdom. He wanted the kingdom of his father and his grandfather. So the story of Dhruva, right? So Dhruva's father had 2 wives and 1 child from each of the wives. So Dhruva was less considered by his father. In fact, his father was more favorable to Dhruva's brother Uttama. So there was a famous episode in which Dhruva became, felt offended and humiliated because by instigation of Uttama's mother, the king refused to take Dhruva on his lap, and that meant that Uttama was supposed to be the successor to the throne. So Dhruva got very offended, very humiliated, and very upset. So his mother advised him, if you want to get success in life, you need to worship Vishnu. So little Dhruva was very young. It says, I think, 5 years old or something. So he left home, he went to the forest to worship Vishnu, and he was very determined to have the darshan of Vishnu and ask for the boon, the blessing of getting, material success, kingdom, and the trimmings. And that was, he was so determined that all the devas were getting, concerned and worried. And so Devarshi Narada went to him and said, okay, yeah, you do this, you do that, and Dhruva was very seriously engaged. And at some point Vishnu actually appeared, Narayan actually appeared to him. And when Narayan appeared in front of him, he blessed Dhruva, and immediately Dhruva realized that he was, his previous idea was very limited because he wanted some material blessings from Vishnu, but he had obtained so much more. Just like a beggar that is going to ask a king for a handful of low quality rice, he got a bag of diamonds. So, and the prayers of Dhruva are very interesting in this regard. I remember I helped one very nice devotee from the Gaudiya Vaishnava Math to translate a booklet, to prepare a booklet on the story of Dhruva, which was also one of the most beloved stories by Krishna Chaitanya. So mostly he liked to listen to the story of Dhruva and Prahlad so many times. The story of Dhruva is very good in illustrating the difference between material devotion, the Kanisha Dikari type of devotion, and the transcendental bhakti, which is more about transcendental realization, the actual understanding of what is bhakti and what is Narayana. So eventually those people who do a lot of punya at some point will come to the transcendental realization, and their bhakti will become para bhakti, spiritual devotion. Otherwise it's just material devotion, materialistic, sentimental devotion. So maybe it will take
how
some time.
these sort of stories, in many places, like the original pastime would have been something different, and later on some sort of these things get associated. So is it done by some saints on purpose to attract, or this is local myth people believe?
I don't think so, because there have always been different levels of realization in people. So if you go and see all the stutis, especially you see like the Vishnu Sahasranam Stotra, all the stutis usually have a Phala Shruti, which is a final verse that is, or final in some, just put it somewhere around the main stotra, that is explaining that if you chant, recite, or meditate on this stotra, you will get all these benefits. And they're talking about material benefits. Like the Vishnu Sahasranama Stotra says, the Brahmana will get knowledge, the Kshatriya will get social power, the Vaishya will get wealth, and the Shudra will get, good position in life and so on. And the same thing for the Chandi part, the Durga Saptasati, Devi Mahatmya, Markandeya Purana, if I'm not mistaken. It also shows from the beginning, that these are two people, quite unfortunate people. The one king who was kicked out of his kingdom, and one merchant, one Vaishya who was also betrayed by his family, and like that. So they are telling each other their own misfortunes, and then they come to the rishi, and the rishi said, yeah, okay, you chant, you recite, you meditate on the Devi Mahatmya, and you will get a benefit. And in the end, after the whole Devi Mahatmya and so on, it ends and say, yeah, anyone who will will chant the Devi Mahatmya, the Durga Saptasati, they will get material blessings, material benefits. But we know that the real benefit is not getting something, some material advantage, because that's just the punya, the good merits. But the good merits should not be considered degraded or wrong or deviations. Because when you say that originally it was better and then the local people misunderstood the purpose. No, I don't think so, because if someone is childish, why shouldn't God give them childish toys? A child who wants to get some toys will not appreciate getting a very sophisticated computer, because he doesn't know what to do with it. So he gets a toy computer. So then you switch on, the toy computer is doing the nice music, and the nice little lights or whatever, So, but that's not a real computer. And, this is the same for the Kanishta Dikari. They're not getting real bhakti. They're getting, material devotion. They're getting material punya, sukriti, which is the same like worshipping the devas. By honoring the devas, offering worship to the devas, what you get? You get sukriti, you get punya. You go to Swarga, right? It's not, it's quite rare that by worshipping the devas you get Krishna Bhakti. But you can, especially if the deva is very happy with you, they will help you to get to Krishna Bhakti. But it's not automatic. Krishna Gita says, those who worship devas, we go to the devas. Those who worship me, we come to me. It's a different situation, because the devas are still on the material level, religious level, but still material level. You understand? Is it clear?
Yes.
So, okay, let people, make their effort in a sattvic way, and when they got sufficient sukriti, sufficient punya, they will graduate to Shuddha Sattva. From Sattva they will purify themselves, and they will reach the level of Shuddha Sattva, which is the actual devotion, spiritual, transcendental bhakti, para bhakti. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks. Anything else? I think we did 1 hour.
Yeah.
It's
no, I think it takes clear.
Tell. You're saying something.
I'm saying it is clear that how, whoever is at whatever level he is, then from there.
Yeah, exactly. It's always beneficial. You know, it's like the kalpa vriksha. The concept of kalpa vriksha, you know, it also applies to the material level. You know, like a kamadhenu. Kamadhenu is not just giving the transcendental things, also material things. You know, kalpa vriksha is the same. Desire tree. So whatever you want, whatever you are able to digest, you can get. So we become able to digest more, to take more, we get more. No problem. Okie dokie. So, okay, if that was useful, I'm very happy. Yeah, we can continue next time. Anything else for today?
No, that's it.
I thank you so much for your time and support in this work. And let's hope that our message can reach more people and inspire them towards bhakti. Krishna bhakti, we'll see. Let's hope. We dedicate this to Krishna, the service of Krishna. Let us say Krishna Arpanam. So,
Astu.
Krishnam Arpanam Astu. Okay, thank you, Sleep. We'll talk again next time. Jai. Jai Jagannath. Thank you so much.